some briskets that have been injected. Save that for making tallow. Tallow pan here. Yeah, that should be better. I'll move this little brisket a little away so you guys can see everything. Trimming up the sides. I'm gonna save all of this to make beef tallow. For a brisket, you want to trim off a little bit on the side so it's good. Come through here and shave this side down so it's all about a 1/4 inch thick. This has all been injected. A little garlic beef broth. You don't want to take too much off of the flat, sorry. Just come in here. Just gonna round that corner off. And then where it thins up, make sure it's as unison as possible. That's going to thin out and have to probably get chopped later, but this thing is going to look like a big old gator head, as Les Barbecue says. Some extra fat in here that we're just going to keep trimming. You can trim as much as you want, as little as you want. Completely up to you. Flip this side over, it's pretty clean, but I'm just going to want to remove any fat because your binder won't stick to it. I'll remove the decal. I love what you do, turn on donations. I will figure out how to turn on donations. I'm not exactly sure how to do that yet, but I will get that all going. And come here, trim as much or as little as you like. I don't know if this is for catering tomorrow, so I usually trim it up real nice, but if it's just for me and the family, sometimes I leave it, sometimes I don't. I don't know, once it's on the smoker, it's gonna, any little parts will come off, but with catering, you want it to be absolutely perfect. There we go. And then this decal part right here, that's usually good for a whole lot of nothing. We're going to come trim the side up here. And then right across this decal without taking any of the good meat. And then you don't want to make a big divot, because that's just where, but look at the marbling on that point. Okay, I'm going to put that back there. Move on to this one. I always want to take these out over your sink, especially after it's been injected. You want as little blood as possible to get all over the kitchen. And again, see, these will have this little spot here. I'm going to take that off. How's the thickness on that? Ooh, actually that's pretty good on this one. It's not too thick, but you can kind of tell the difference, like the soft fat. This, see, you can get my hands all kind of in it. It's not actually that. This one's going to be minimal trim on this side, which is always nice. Plus you have to trim more. What do you get for your brisket? You always want to clean up all the edges though. Because usually when you get packer briskets, they come with the edges being a little bit grayish, brown. Not brown, sorry, but a little grayish. That's just from the oxidization. I want to trim that corner. And come in right here. See this part. Let's see. That's going to be into the silver skin. Nothing too crazy. Spin this so see what I'm doing. That going, all of that beef fat and extra meat is going to go into, see all that on that side, pretty much 1/4 inch all the way through. A little bit of the loose part here, so we'll take that. And this I will round off. Take any loose bits, you want to make sure, kind of chop, this is kind of hanging, even though it's good meat, but if it hangs, it'll end up causing not the best bite. And this part down here, just gonna trim that. Do this with a very, very, very sharp knife. The sharper the knife, the easier it is. So this one, we'll start with this decal here. Go right along. There we go. See? Trim it right nice. See, I'll check messages from you guys. Buy me Popeyes, please. Then trim that. As we trim this up, it'll start to look nice and aerodynamic, as they say. And then see this stuff on top? Just peel it up like that, and if you want, it's a little easier to get to. You gotta watch because I can leave divots. But a lot of this fat, as soon as you hit it with the knife, peels off pretty easy, I find. Especially if you got a really, really, really sharp knife. Get it flat to it. I know you guys probably can't see this the best, but I have to be able to see what I'm doing. Because this is for a catering event tomorrow. So I'm making sure these are nice and pretty. Take a little extra time. You will not be disappointed. We've done a few hundred of these, so I'm decently quick at it, but definitely want to take your time. The briskets are not cheap, so you do not want to cheap out and rush as you trim it. Especially in Canada, briskets are, some places, I'm lucky to get wholesale, so it's not as bad, but some places I think it's like $15 a pound for brisket, which is pretty insane. And this little bit of oxidization will just come, trim. Okay, now we will wipe down a board, because let's go back in the trays. What's everyone saying? Hold on. Where the P. Diddy at? Buy me some Popeyes, please. Please, Matt. So, keep your station clean. Rule number one. Especially when you're working. So, I'm gonna flip briskets. This in here, I'm gonna grab a pan. So all of these trimmings into the pan, and these will go on the smoker to render down for beef tallow that I will use on the briskets while I wrap them. There's a little bit more than I thought, but that's all right. I'm gonna need a bigger pot, but we'll get to that when we're done. Since I've been touching everything, doing everything, gonna replace now that again over here. Other stuff has been, just want to wipe it all down. Just grabbing some replacement gloves. Because for this, you want to use one hand to rub and one hand to keep clean. Going back to the mustard binder. I was using vegetable oil, but I ran out today, to be honest. So we're back to the mustard. I don't really find a big difference of either, so it's kind of whatever you got. They do say mustard is a natural tenderizer, so I guess we will see. And these briskets are gonna go on for about 14 hours, so by the time it's all said and done, you won't get any mustard flavor. Some people say they can taste the mustard. I don't know if I believe that, but some people say a lot of things about a lot of things, so who knows? Okay, so I pre-mixed this earlier. This is salt and pepper at the same weight, and then some paprika and garlic powder, or granulated garlic, sorry. I'm going to start with the edges. I want to make sure all the edges of your brisket are done just the same as the top. Alright. Cross arm. You can put this into a shaker, but I just go out this because there should be no clumps, because I just made it. There's no sugar in it to clump up. You want on the fat side, definitely you want a little bit more liberal than you would on the point, because fat will eat a lot of that seasoning. That's just what I've found. People, I'm sure, will disagree, but that's how I do it. And I'll show you guys a close-up once I'm done. These are going to sit on each side for about 15 minutes. These came right out of the fridge before I started to do it, so there's no risk of them warming up too much or anything. It's one thing you gotta watch, but these will be good. You don't want the temperature, especially if it's hot in your kitchen, you don't want the temperature of your meat rising too much and making people sick. Gotta make sure everything is food safe. But on this side. Some people do it the night before. I find if you do that, you can mustard it the night before, just to see if you can tenderize it a little bit more. These are amazing Canadian Wagyu briskets, so they are tender. Or tender as a mother's love, some say, depending on who your mother is. Mine for sure. Okay, and once this side's done, grab you guys with the clean hand. Then you'll see as we pat it, gets those little streaks out. If there see anything streaky, just give her a little pat and knock down. And then gonna go check on our pork, so hold on, and I will take you guys outside to do that. I'm just gonna take my gloves off because I will change those again. If you guys haven't already, hit that thumbs up, obviously. Little solicitation. This is what we're up to today. There, so that is a full rack of spare ribs. Full rack with the bone in and the belly on. So that is what we are having tonight. And then we'll be using the pool in a little bit. Back into the kitchen. And then we'll be using that pretty soon too. That's a little pizza oven. So those are our briskets. Nice and peppery, a little salt, you know, a little of this, a little of that. Oh, I gotta move that mustard, because that is right in your guys' way. Let me move that up a bit so you guys can see a little better. Okay, and then we are going to re-glove up. A little bit bigger gloves. These are XLs, but let's see if I can get some bigger ones, because I can't wear my other fire gloves underneath them. So same hand that you're going to use to rub the meat down. Ooh, a little heavy this girl. It's like an 18-pound brisket. This one's about 16 pounds. So now, again with the clean hand, shoot the old mustard. And this is a definite French's House. You can use Heinz if you'd like. That's what was at Costco. So that's where I got that. All the beef comes from Buckhead Meats in Vancouver. All the pork comes from Johnston's pork. So that's why I can get amazing cuts at decent prices, which is always awesome. Okay, now we are good now since we already got the sides. Start going on this. You just want a nice shake. Just a nice shake to it. Nothing too crazy. And once it melts in a bit, if you see some spots that didn't get enough rub, you can always add a little more. This one is pretty thick with mustard, so let's make sure any extra we'll just swipe off. Start same-ish side. We'll go check the temp of the other smoker, because that's one thing I was supposed to do when I went out there, and of course I forgot, because hey, that's barbecue, and that happens. A little extra on the side there. Got that bark. And I'm sure some of you may know, your briskets, salt, pepper, garlic. I'm not trying to add a ton of extra flavor. You want it really beefy, because that's the best way to enjoy brisket, I find. Pork I inject, this one I injected with beef broth and a little bit of garlic in my beef broth when I cooked it down. And then I do an apple grape for my pork. Let's go check the temp of the smoker. Yeah, rub the meat down, baby. Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, Briz. Okay, so we got that one that we're gonna use for all tonight. And then we're gonna go to this one, check. It's coming right up. So we are pretty good on those. Gonna let that go down. Just melt on for a little bit longer. Sorry for the shaky camera work. But yeah, see, so those are the tops of our briskets. Thanks, T. Top side. You can always add a little extra pepper, but I think these got it perfect. There's our sink with there's a little cheesecake I made. And then little beans. Little jalapeno beans. That's the way I like to make them. What are you guys up to today? Is it summertime for you guys? Working? Stir these beans up a bit. Okay, I guess I'll. You see, I guess I'll set up outside so you guys can see how. Actually, you guys have any questions? Anything you guys want answered with the brisket? Again, chill out a minute and chit chat. Hey guys, any questions about barbecue, brisket, ribs, anything? For anyone new on here, I'll show you guys the ribs I'm working on for today. So those are bone-in pork belly or bacon ribs, I call them. Those are one of my favorites. So that rub. So with the beef, with the brisket, I just did salt and pepper at the same weight. And then garlic powder, or sorry, granulated garlic and paprika just for a little color. And then I also throw in a tiny bit of habanero powder. I find it works great with the beef. The pork ribs, I have my honey rub that I get commercially made. So that's honey powder, salt, brown sugar, paprika, chili flakes, garlic, onion, and some paprika. I think I might have double said that. So I use that, and then also my scorpion rub that has habanero powder, chili powder, cayenne pepper. Do I boil? And then, yeah, so that one's about the same as the honey rub, but without the honey and then more peppers to it. So it's like a triple pepper rub. Do I boil my ribs first? No, I've never boiled my ribs first. I find if you do that, it'll start to cook it, and then it also won't get as much smoke in them. I do inject my ribs though. I make apple, grape, apple, a little bit of cinnamon, a little savory, a little salty, a little sweet injection, and then I inject that between the ribs. I find that works absolutely beautiful. With the brisket, I inject that with a beef broth and garlic, a little bit of salt. Yeah, and then also when you do your ribs, make sure you always take the membrane off. I know some people, they leave it or they score it, but it takes 2 minutes to take the membrane off, and it's 100 times better rib. I find you don't want that underneath the rib, little plasticky bite. Some people, I guess, like it or just don't do the, I wouldn't say proper steps, but don't really do, in my books, the proper steps. But yeah, so today made potato salad for tomorrow. I'll make my mac and cheese tomorrow morning for tomorrow afternoon's catering event. My briskets will go on in about 15 minutes. Those all run to like 180. Hey,
how you doing?
Good, just on live. How are you doing?
Nice, good.
Just getting the briskets going, got the ribs on.
Oh, it smells amazing.
There's my fiance Megan. She's just checking, see how things are going. Say hi.
Hello.
What's going on?
Not much.
Yeah, just working away, and did a live for the first time in like 2 months.
A very long time.
Yeah.
Did any of the old school
I think so.
team show up?
Yeah, I think a few, but
Nice.
thank you. Yeah, that's Monty and Taco. Taco's the one with the cone on, and Monty's the big lab. So yeah, they're hanging out here today with us as well.
Yep.
Yeah. How was lunch?
Good. So good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tasty.
Nice. See?
Don't want to rub it in, but it was great.
Hey, Taco. Yeah.
Awesome.
Pool pretty soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna work. I'm actually gonna go work for an hour,
Are you?
and then
Okay, perfect. And then
maybe
we'll
a
pool.
half an hour. Yeah, I would love that. That would be perfect.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna throw the briskets on in like 10 minutes, and then I am ready to hit the pool.
Okay, I love it. Come in and bug me whenever. I'll be ready to go.
Sounds
Leave
good.
the puppers out here and go.
Oh, I think Mon's coming in.
Do you want to stay up? Okay. Well, Taco might stay, but not too many.
Taco will
people.
probably stay.
Okay. See you in a bit.
See ya. Okay, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll throw the. Gonna go grab the briskets, and then toss those on. What are you guys doing? What is going on in your guys' world? I'll be right back. Outside. I got my new smoker that's getting shipped out, a big Myron Mixon smoker. You can see from there, it's already starting to melt in a little bit already, so that's always what you want. And then I'm gonna run, so yeah, my new Myron Mixon 60 is coming in like 3 weeks. That I'll be able to do a 150-pound whole hog, which will be absolutely unreal. And then, so right now I got the 2 traegers going with the beef. I'm doing a charcoal hickory pellet, and then with the pork, I'm doing, what was the pork again? The pork was a competition blend. So little oak, little hickory, little apple, I think, or cherry that I added in. So yeah, it's that's what I use. So I am going to, actually I guess I'll film throwing the briskets on before I head out. There's my son's badminton racket, my smoker covers. And then, since it's summertime, we got so that's the garden, all the blueberry plants back there. Got the horses out. I think they're out getting rode right now. So yeah, all the blueberries. So I started picking those. So today I made blueberry cheesecake for tonight, which is one of my favorites. And then this is where I stay warm in the winter when I'm out here on the barbecues, or the, I don't know if you're allowed to say the S word on YouTube, or I might get shut down. But when the traegers are rolling, oop, sorry guys. Okay, got my cooking shorts on. Go on a little bit of an angle. I'll show you. My hands are a little dirty, but that it is. So these I will smoke to, they hit 185. So we will put those down. Now we'll come back and put a thermometer in them in a couple hours. Those will get cleaned. See these ribs, for anybody who is new on here, those are getting a little bit of dryness, not dry, but this one you want to take a little bit of vinegar, give a little bit of moisture. Don't want anything pooling or to lose the bark, but so those are spare ribs, full rack of spares with the belly on as well. Call those bacon ribs. And then that is where I'm going to head after this and go enjoy some pool time with the family. Got relatives up as well, so from Alberta. Gonna clean up the kitchen. I will be back on later. Let me see if I flip this. Okay, I will be back on later to give you guys an update. Follow along with, I'm gonna be doing this pretty much daily again now that I'm right back at it. So you guys come back in and we will see you guys later, and make sure you, I don't know, you subscribe, right? You like, you do all the good stuff. So see you guys later in a few hours to show you guys the ribs before I wrap them. Okay, thank you guys for coming in.